Hey girls, Maria Menounos here, author of the Every Girl's Guide to Life. Want to know my best tips and secrets for organization, travel, weight loss, beauty, fashion, and everything else in between? Go to bing.com/Maria and pick up my new book, The Every Girl's Guide to Life.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, this is AfterBuzz TV for Celebrity Apprentice. Tonight's host is AJ Jolivette. Joining AJ will be AfterBuzz co-hosts Michele Macedo and Phil Svitek. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Celebrity Apprentice news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, AJ Jolivette.
All right, everyone. Welcome, AfterBuzzers. Welcome, AfterBuzzers. It's finally over.
Is that we
to an end, and we have a winner. We're not gonna say who the winner is right away, even though just in case you guys are listening to us and you haven't actually seen the show, I don't know if that happens. But John Rich
check
won.
your Twitter. Yeah, check your Twitter. I mean, it's
John Rich won.
John Rich won.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
yes. It's kind of for those of you who can't see us. AJ's got the screen going, and I'm seeing myself live, and it's kind of freaking me out.
Weird.
Well, don't look at yourself.
It's kind of freaking me out.
Why are you just looking at yourself?
I know.
It's freaking me
Yeah,
out, man.
Check it out, you guys. I actually put on something other than a t-shirt and a jacket for the last show.
Congratulations.
Snazzy. I
found
snazzed it up.
Yeah, you
It's
for
all
dressed up.
because like the Donald had with his little presentation of the red carpet. It's all about presentation.
Oh yeah, I
all
was
about
gonna
the
say
presentation.
the red carpet ran out,
So
good.
they
and
got
then he
fired.
fired them,
You're fired. You're fired.
Boo.
and
That
then he
was
walked in
awesome.
the door.
Lame. What was that?
So
for?
lame, macaroni Tony.
Boo.
That was awesome.
That was
Cheesy.
so cheesy. It
You
was
guys
ridiculous.
are a bunch of freaking haters.
It's
That was
not a
brilliant
hater, that was
by
not-
the Donald.
How,
What
what
is it
was,
with these people?
What
I
makes
don't
that
know.
brilliant?
Yeah.
What makes that brilliant? Because he gets to say you're fired, like
Of
for the
course.
9
Yes.
millionth
Of course.
time.
That is
It's
exactly
not
what
like
makes
it's a
it
new
brilliant.
term.
No.
Like it's not
But-
something like new and coined and exciting. It's like for real.
Literally,
It doesn't need to be new. It's already fantastic.
but they made
enough.
a show about it. Like
Yes.
they made a show about that. He says
Can
that.
you fire her?
So boring.
I wish I could.
Lame.
I'll just
Okay,
keep
that's
coming
actually
back.
a perfect segue into. Let me get into a few things real quick.
Let's get into them.
I can't fire her because she's a volunteer. In fact, all of us here at AfterBuzz TV are volunteers. And Jesse apparently just quit. Jesse has quit.
Yeah.
Jesse left the booth. Come back. Come back.
He's like, what? I'm a volunteer.
we don't have a DJ anymore.
No way. All right. Well, so yes. So we're all volunteers. So we do this. We donate our time. We're all in the industry. We have an opinion and a voice, and we have insider knowledge that we'd like to share. And so that is what we are here to do. And all we ask in return is more fans. Tell your friends. No, and here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Last week, we've kind of been starting this campaign of let your friends know. And I got to say, people have responded so much so that I'm actually consulting with AJ now about what to do with our damn network because we can't, right now, our network's about to die because we got too many downloads.
We have downloads around the globe.
I know.
Actually.
We're global.
Wait,
We
so
are-
what network is it on that it's about to die?
Well, we're not gonna say that. That's like slamming whose network it is, but just know it's on a network that needs more bandwidth to handle us.
Yeah, that
Yes.
sucks.
They can't.
It's normal.
handle us.
They can't handle us. That's
Yeah,
what
they
happens
can't
when you
handle
grow.
us.
They
They
cannot
can't
handle
Yeah, I
us.
mean, it was funny. Our other producer, Kevin Onegara, got the phone call while he was at Sesame Street, on the set of Sesame Street. And this was his like lifetime dream to see the Sesame Street.
Of course, why wouldn't
And-
it be?
Yeah.
And meanwhile,
all my homies are
that's
from the Sesame
awesome.
Street.
I will admit I've hated Sesame Street since I was about 5.
Okay, you've been
You
shut off.
started
Can we
hating it
turn her
then?
mic off?
Yeah.
yes, please do.
Sorry.
Anyway, so he gets a phone call and he's like, dude, I'm on Sesame Street. But dude's like, whoa, but you guys are getting downloads in Kuwait, Japan, Australia, obviously the U.S. and God knows where. And this needs to be handled. Like we can't accommodate our biggest like thing, and you guys are way over that. What are you guys doing? And so so we like that kind of a challenge.
Well, I'm glad he was on the set of Sesame Street
when all
then.
that went down.
Because it's being on the set would center you.
Yeah.
It would keep you calm, and you'd be standing right next to Mr. Snuffleupagus. I mean, really.
I love
Big Bird's right there. How can you be upset with that? She's such a hater.
I'm
Big
not
Bird,
a hater.
How do you
I
hate
just
Big
really
Bird?
did not
Big
like
Bird is the
Sesame
best
Street growing
thing
up.
ever. Do you know that there was a time
All
when
that,
no one
like,
even
learning
believed Mr.
television used to piss me
Snuffleupagus was
off.
even real? They're like, is he real? Only Big Bird saw him. You see, let me tell you the whole story. See? But no, I'm just kidding. That's
Only
the truth.
couldn't
Big
do
Bird
it.
saw him?
Only Big Bird knew that the Mr. Snuffleupagus was. I don't even know if I'm saying it
I'm
right.
like,
but
it's not.
Mr.
Snuffleupagus.
I know who you're talking
Snuffleupagus-
about.
I'm saying it like I used to say it when I was a kid. Snuffleupagus.
Ridiculous.
Only Big Bird could see him originally.
Oh,
right?
wow.
That's a little history for you, which dates me because I didn't read it. I watched it.
Wow.
So
Dang,
Well,
yo.
Also, before we get into this episode, we're as the show set new records or new grounds or whatever you want to call it. Maria Menounos' book, The Every Girl's Guide to Life, is sort of
Learn
setting a
about it.
new kind of trend of, she was number 3 on the New York Times bestsellers list, then went down to 15, and now is actually back
at
up.
5, right?
Yeah, that is I don't want to say unprecedented. I don't know that for a fact, but it is very, very rare. I know that you usually go
You drop
down.
and you
you
just keep
stayed down.
dropping.
She went
Yeah.
down and came back up.
That's
That's
right.
awesome.
So
Oh.
buy it. It's worth it.
Yes.
Lots of good
Yes.
info.
Yes,
if you don't
indeed.
already have it.
You
Jump on
can't get it at Target apparently because it's always sold out at Target. I went today.
Yes, it is. My mom went and she said that too.
Interesting.
And last bit of info, we will see all of these guys, in fact, myself as well, at the MTV Movie Awards Gift Suite, June 2nd and 3rd. We will be broadcasting that week's
Fun.
shows live from there, so expect that. We will have celebrities. We will have all our shows. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great.
It's going to be a good time.
Amazing.
It's going to be quite exciting.
And you're going to see AJ's take on AMC's The Killing.
Yes, AMC's The Killing. I'm looking forward to it, and so should you.
Anyways, all right.
Like
You have
what?
the reins now.
The way the show, it wasn't a regular show, and it was a finale show, so there was
long.
Yeah.
because it wasn't about the regular drama that we normally see. Now we're closing off the show, so it wasn't that kind of excitement. We got to see the people, each one with their charities, and kind of one thing I noticed was it wasn't as if only the celebrities won. Their charities got to share the spotlight, what I thought was actually pretty cool, right? So that just gives even more attention to the charities. And I mean, not to say that that hurts the other charities that didn't win, but these people work the hardest. Their charities get to benefit, and the little spots for each of them with each one of their charities and spending time, especially the one with the deaf kids. I actually thought that was fantastic to watch. It was, especially when when they get to hear for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And can you say something, and she can hear it, now she can say it, and that's her first words is repeating something that's just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
How does that not pull at the
I know. I thought
Heartstrings.
she'd win because I
Heartstrings.
started to choke up.
see? Yeah, it was fantastic. And
Yeah.
not to say there was anything wrong with John's, he went in and he played the little guitar for the kids, and that was
Why
great.
is it a little guitar?
Well, because they were little kids, so you play a little guitar for the little kids. You play a big guitar for the big kids. Anyway.
Okay.
But let's
Just checking.
So I thought that was great, but let's we went over the first part of the challenges on the first half of the show, which was last show. This show we kind of jumped in at the end, not even at the middle, right? Because they hadn't really went through most of it. So at the end, all we had left is to find out whether or not Marley was going to get her surprise or special guest to be the voice of 7-Up, and whether or not Def Leppard actually show up. And we actually didn't think that was real. We didn't think that Def Leppard wasn't there when they were supposed to.
Well, they made it out to be more of did they like cancel the event? So it wasn't to that extent, but it was actually a big part.
It was a big
20 minutes is a long time.
20 minutes
I
is a
know.
long time.
And he was pretty obvious about the fact that it was a mistake.
Yeah. He didn't
I
really
would have
cover that at
I
all.
would have had them 10 minutes early. Before
Yeah, that's
I ever,
what.
and
Why didn't
and
you
I would have
do
been like,
that?
okay, you guys are waiting around, whatever.
Yeah.
Deal
You
with
know
it.
what? And I don't know. You would know how hard it is to get bands to show up on time or not. Can you tell us?
It's really hard.
Is
And
it?
yeah, I've panicked a lot of times.
Tell us why. Tell everyone why you would know though, because I know why you would know.
Oh,
but-
because I'm a musician and I just released my second album and I play live all over the place.
slow clap. No, slow clap. Slow clap.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. Good. It's speeding up. Yeah, good.
Yes.
So buy my album. It's called Flags and Boxes.
Where can they buy it?
Anywhere. Look it up on iTunes. Soon it will be in stores everywhere.
Sweet.
Cool.
So, but I'll let you know when that happens. But every time that I play, I have, a bassist that cannot be on time. At least 40 minutes late. And every single time, I think that we're going to have to start without him. And then the last minute, he like comes in. And then I turn around and he's there.
There you go.
But up until then, it's like panicking the whole time.
Wait, so question: was Def Leppard even late?
No,
Like
they weren't
no,
late.
I
Actually,
understand. They
yeah.
had 20. They had to get down there. They're
in the dressing
20
room.
They were in
minutes
the
early.
dressing room.
They're in the dressing
I
room.
understand that, but what if they showed up late after that?
After
fact?
that, oh yeah.
You know what I mean? What if they're like, we're running 10 minutes behind the
And it was
7
already
o'clock
20
start
yeah, 20
time?
minutes.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
That
would've
would've
That would
been
suck.
awful.
That would be half an hour now.
Yeah.
That-
But hey, he would have just sang his little song with his little guitar and it would have been all been fine.
And you know what? He should have gone out when they were ready. They should have been at the wings
yeah.
waiting, and then he should have gone out and announced it.
Okay, so let's talk.
That was
Let's
weird.
talk because we can talk a good bit about the actual tasks at hand, and let's start with John Rich task. The commercial. What do you guys think about the commercial? We'll get to the event after we talk about the commercial. So they showed the commercial. They showed Marley's commercial first. What do you think about Marley's commercial? So you've got Marley's doing her dance and signing at the same time, and she's got on her psychedelic outfit. That's great. Then you've got, what I remember was that the cans were supposed to crush
them.
I didn't see any crushing.
Well, I think that they graphically didn't achieve that. 'Cause they kind of like smashed.
Yeah, I didn't
into
see
it,
that.
or, like,
one of them slid.
it
this
wasn't
way,
an
yeah.
obvious like slamming
Yeah, I
down
didn't-
on that.
I
Trend,
didn't. So it's a good thing that they didn't tell the people watching it that's what they're trying to achieve because they didn't even come close to it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't
But
notice that.
we know because we watch. So they didn't make that. Okay, so then you've got the guy with the afro and he's dancing and then he goes. And then then you've got someone else I'm
Meatloaf.
missing. Meatloaf is the next one, or is not another one in between?
Meatloaf, then it's Latoya Jackson, then Meatloaf
no,
again.
Latoya. Okay, that's right. It's Meatloaf with the
That didn't make any sense.
flannel.
I'm not from the 70s.
Oh
so
yeah,
what?
first
CB. CB was a big deal in the 70s, I believe.
CB.
Yeah, he was on the CB. Meatloaf was talking on the CB. That
What
was
is
what that
this?
was.
What's a CB?
10-4, my good buddy. 10-4, over.
Do you know what that is?
Walkie-talkie?
You guys
I
don't,
don't.
you guys don't know what that is?
No,
No.
I have no,
No,
idea.
I know
No
what the CB
idea.
is, yeah.
What the heck is a
That's
CB?
hilarious. You guys don't know what a CB is.
Great
No.
Merrill? I don't get it. What's a CB?
Exactly, right? I have no idea.
You know what? Look it up. It was a big deal.
Just a
Smokey and the Bear.
CB.
My phone's
Yeah.
dead.
Smokey and the no, nothing. Wow.
I
Well,
don't-
Smokey and the Bear.
But didn't he put out forest fires?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And you
okay.
can too.
No, I believe he only promoted the prevention of forest fires. I don't think he actually put them out. I don't think he was that dedicated.
Anyway, yes. So
I mean,
the
it's
CB.
so hard to
wow,
say
I'm
what
sorry.
a CB is. Like,
Okay,
why do we have to look it up?
It
Okay,
is. It
whatever.
actually is still used today. I believe most truckers still use their CB
Yeah.
radios, right? So the truckers are talking. Okay, that's a CB. I'm amazed that you guys don't actually know what
And
that
like in
is, but-
horror movies.
Courtney, I'm ashamed that you don't know it because in Serial Buddies, a feature that Courtney actually produced, one of the main characters, Vinnie Van Gogh is his name.
Uh-huh.
He uses a CB radio.
Okay, and I was supposed to like know what that
And
was.
what it's called,
Like I was
or-
like, great, he's got a CB radio.
Courtney,
Kevin Undergaro has
so
an
on the-
amazing sense of imagination.
So on the
Thought he
damn
made it up.
equipment list or expense report, you didn't see CB radio props?
I never saw a CB radio on an expense list, but
You didn't see one on set?
in
You
the
didn't,
end,
you didn't
Maybe
see
it was
like a-
called
used
something
it.
else.
I don't
No.
remember anybody
No.
calling it.
That's
a
all
CB
that it's
radio.
called.
No, it's the CB radio.
Sorry. My bad.
Well, that doesn't change. That doesn't change it.
All right.
Whatever. Go.
So all the more
we
reason why
digress.
that makes no sense in their commercial, by the way.
It
because
does.
Yeah,
it
I know.
makes perfect sense to me.
But obviously they're still being used and whatever. So 7-Up would not be smashing it out. So I don't get it.
And
Okay, you don't have to get it. Moving on.
Didn't get the
okay.
commercial.
Okay, so
Commercial
then
was whack.
so Meatloaf, and then you have his name is Jeffrey
Holder.
Jeffrey Holder.
He's so old.
oh yeah,
That's what you gotta say.
I was like, wait.
He's so
she
old.
said that during it too.
He seemed great. He's very
so
charming and adorable. But I was laughing because they showed all the clips from the old commercials, and he's so vibrant and young. But then I realized, I mean, he could have been like 40 at that point, and he did that, and now he would be like 75. But I don't know. I wasn't expecting him to be so old.
Wait,
He,
did,
like,
did they show the old commercial at all in the new commercial?
No, they didn't show them together, but they showed it last episode.
Yeah.
They showed when she found it.
If I
Clip of
just
it.
saw the commercial, I would have no idea what was
Me
going
either.
on. Like it needs to be more because I have no idea who that guy is.
They
Okay,
needed
so-
to show like why it was a throwback. like,
Exactly, or why it's cool. I like it when they do that. They show the old one and then you show the new one.
So they didn't do that, and I think though that her commercial wasn't that great.
it wasn't.
No,
I think that, and she said herself,
copy
if it
didn't
wasn't
make
for
any
Jeffrey
sense.
Holder,
Yeah, I know.
then it wouldn't have worked. Then it wouldn't have.
Oh,
And
yeah,
even,
no.
but even with him in it, like what it was great because they're like, oh, we remember him, yay!
That's
but
right.
the copy, like what I don't even
Yeah,
know what
that
he was
sucks.
saying and why it went with whatever. It just didn't make any sense to me.
Okay, yeah,
didn't
okay.
make
His
so,
voice is so cool that it doesn't
All right,
matter.
so then grade it. What is the grade? What is the grade on Marley's commercial?
I'd give it a D.
D. Ooh, that's right.
I was thinking C minus.
C minus.
I was gonna say C plus.
I'm kind of going with the C minus. We agree on something for the first time ever.
I didn't agree with you. I said
Not
D.
you.
Stop looking
Well,
at
I
me.
don't.
Look at
Well, I would
her.
look at her, but
But what? You
But-
can't look at her now.
but not if
What's
I'm actually
wrong?
talking about her. She gives me that evil look and it burns into my soul. I don't
think
like
that's
that.
just my
I don't
eyes.
like that. I don't like you burning into my soul. I don't like it.
Some people say that I look like a demon.
That's what I mean. See?
Well,
Everyone
I call
knows.
you a demon all the time, so,
So
you should
it's
feel
the
very
same.
comfortable.
So we're actually exactly the same.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You are the same, except you're a black man and she's a young white woman.
I
Same
would
thing.
like to let you know that I am
It's
not
one and
any
the
kind of a demon.
And I'm halfway.
Oh,
Oh,
There you go.
There you go. That might be.
sister
What it
from
is.
another mother type situation.
All right, all right.
I'm not half white. Thanks, though.
Well, technically, Creole is French, which is
Oh,
white, so
Creole.
We're just getting all kinds of lessons.
learning all kinds. I don't know why you have to frown about that.
I don't know if that's a
AfterBuzz
frown.
TV exclusive.
I don't know if that's a frown. That's a sneer.
Snarl.
Whatever. I'm from New Orleans. I'm Creole. Big
That's
big
true.
whoop. It's not a surprise. My last name is Jolivette. Very New Orleans French. Moving on.
Dokey.
So, I got a lot of notes. So let me see my notes here. So,
We were
okay.
talking
So,
about commercials.
yes. So Marley's commercial, I give a C minus. She'll give C minus. I think it's kind of a C minus. But if we jump over to John's commercial, what do you think about that? So John's got, even though the Twisted Sister thing was pretty freaking cool.
That was.
It worked out very
It was
well.
pretty freaking cool.
Why were they so slow? I didn't time them, but like they seemed like really long. 30
Well, they were like
second
no, they were
spots.
supposed to be 90-second.
90. Okay, then that's why they seem slow.
So with his theme, he's got, and even though I don't think the people that he put up there look like the people they were supposed to. I think
Yeah, I mean,
the guy
yeah.
with the headband was supposed to be the guy who won a celebrity last time. I'm not really good at names,
Forget.
The guy who's Rock of
I couldn't remember.
the
Was it
Rock
supposed to be
of
Bret
Love?
Michaels?
yeah, Bret Michaels. He was supposed to be Bret Michaels.
Missed that.
There you go.
I missed that
Because
too.
I was like, who is he supposed
Yeah,
to be?
he was
Yeah.
supposed to be Bret Michaels. I didn't come across at all. And then
She was supposed to be
Madonna.
she was
Madonna.
supposed to be Madonna.
Which you could get. the
I mean,
clothes.
I knew that because they said it. I don't know what I would have thought if I didn't.
She should have either been like a Virgin or Vogan, one of the two.
Yeah,
Well, that's the other thing. Why did they pick? Well, maybe they couldn't use those songs on air.
Well, they should have used a more memorable like outfit. I mean, that could have been like anyone in the 80s,
Yeah,
like Tiffany or whatever.
At least give the cornrows to the guy at the time when he was Bret Michaels. Didn't Bret Michaels have cornrows? Braids or something? I don't know.
Are you on?
Sure.
All right, whatever. But then you got the guy come in as Twisted Sister. He says, "Hey, drink this." Turns around and he's got that was actually pretty cool. But again, if it wasn't for him, their
Yeah,
commercial wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So give it a grade.
And they're silent.
For me, this was a C-. It was actually worse than Marley's. I thought
Worse,
Marley's.
okay. C minus
You
for
thought
you.
it was worse than Marley's? I would give it a C.
Did you see the-
minus?
Did
Okay,
you
you
see the
gave hers a D.
cinematography? Did you see?
I'm
how
gonna
it
give
was-
it a C.
Well, I think conceptually
plus
though,
C plus
Conceptually, it
C.
was better.
Okay.
it
I'm at a
makes
C+.
more sense. And for me, the message is more important than the things that I can.
Yeah,
pick
but the
out from
execution
photographs.
was ridiculous.
It wasn't the greatest, but they were too long. They should have been 30 seconds, and maybe I would have been like.
Well, I
okay.
think the C plus. I think so. I think he wins, even though both of them did mediocre
Badly.
job
Yeah.
on the commercials. So.
Yeah.
Not
like-
even mediocre. They both did poorly.
Okay, so now we go into their events. Now, Marley's event, I think, almost was like cheating because she got the Globetrotters. And there's not a whole lot you have to do with the Globetrotters except say, here are the Globetrotters.
Well, there's not a lot
And
to
they
do
will
with
do-
Def Leppard. You introduce them and they
No, I mean, that's
play.
not the truth. She can tell you. When you're putting together a concert event, you have things to do. You have to get the stage right. You got to get the lights ready. You got to get the sound. You have to do sound and you got to do rehearsals. And there's more to do. With the Globetrotters, you go into a basketball gym and you say, everybody sit down and watch them.
So okay, the Globetrotters were the second part of the. Okay, obviously, so everyone went in a room and watched the commercial.
They watch the commercial and then,
And then
I don't-
same with the other one
Lounge.
too.
And the
yes,
disco
and then
lounge.
they
And then
went and
Into Def Leppard, and then they went into the
Yeah.
basketball.
And that's a good catch because I actually thought that the transition was a lot different there, right? There was a different place for the two things. I would say.
Yeah.
Whereas
that's
they did the commercial didn't right into the concert thing for John. But okay, we haven't gotten to John yet. So now her event was the Globetrotters. She got out and then you can't show a whole basketball game. It's like, but even though
Yeah.
even if the little bit they show, it probably wasn't the whole thing. Who knows how long their performance is? But what do you think about that? I thought it was fine. I thought how can you go wrong with the Globetrotters? Courtney. Do you know who the Globetrotters are?
If we weren't on camera, you would see a finger come up.
Which one? Would it be
Oh.
this one?
No.
Would it be this one?
No.
Because your this one is about the size of mine.
Anyway,
This one.
I saw the Globetrotters when I was a little kid.
Okay, well there you go. At
Just
least
'cause
you
I don't know
know.
what your little CB radio was.
I don't have any little CB radios.
And then she reported it on her CB
Whatever.
radio.
So I don't think it was all that great for her. I don't think it was. There's nothing really for her to do as far as that task go. But they said that
There's
the
always
signage,
something to do.
the signage was good. They said that it worked with the actual theme.
For
as
what?
my-
They
For
said it
which
wasn't
part?
quite enough for Marley. She didn't have enough signage.
For
she
what
needs some
part?
more.
Which part?
for the Globetrotter
The
thing.
event.
Globetrotter.
Oh,
event.
and also they liked that everyone was there at the door and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
So
agreed
now,
and-
so
And she wore green.
which
She
was
did
awesome,
wear
and
green.
it was very nice.
So now Meatloaf
little
met
tip.
everyone coming in, shook everyone's hand. He said, it's a 70s thing. I guess I'm the 70s person, and I thought that was great. They actually commented on it was great. Excuse me. And then Marley, she stayed with the actual 7-Up people the entire time. I know this because they commented on it when they complained that John's team didn't do anything of the kind. So now we get to John's event. It's a concert. It's got Def Leppard. Def Leppard. He goes up there. He does his little stomp thing, keeping whatever. And
Which
that
was like, Def Leppard was totally like,
was-
that's
let's
we're
talk
not gonna
about
do that.
that,
And he's like,
okay?
I'm so glad we worked it out.
Exactly. He was like all balls blazing, like, I'm going to come in there and they ain't going to know what hit them. They're going to take this and they're going to beat that doggone drum and I'm going to make them.
Yeah.
And then he goes, can somebody kick the drum? And they all look like,
Yeah. And then they're
I
like,
ain't doing it. Won't you stomp your foot? And he was like, oh, I didn't think of that. Okay, I'll stomp my foot.
and
Well,
then
can I
he was
ask a
like
quick
so happy
question?
that they worked it out.
What is the big deal with kicking the drum?
Because you're an artist, you're a group, you're there for a performance. You don't want to have your artist on the stage for the intro for the person that's supposed to be introducing you.
I don't know nothing about that, but
I'm
that's a
sorry,
bad
I'm
thing?
on Def Leppard's
Yeah,
team on that
I mean,
one.
I know Def Leppard, they were saying, like, I could see that. They were saying that they didn't want to, like, be representing something, right? That they're not, I was
My
kind of
question
unclear.
is-
Like,
my
I would have
question
done
is
it.
this, how come just anybody couldn't kick the drum?
Well, anybody could have,
Yeah.
but that wasn't his idea.
He
Because it
literally-
was cooler
If
well,
Def Leppard
I
kicked the
think-
drum, I don't get it.
I
I thought it
just
was a
think-
battle not worth fighting in the first place.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, if he wanted it, I don't know why they wouldn't really. I mean, you kick a drum.
So that was my part. I had two pieces. One, I don't see why they're making a big deal out of it. And second, I don't see why he would make a big deal out of it. If they didn't want to do it, that's dumb that they don't, but okay, who cares? And then if he has to do it himself, okay, or have somebody else. I didn't see why it was worth getting all riled up about. I'm not sure if it was just him showboating that he was doing his thing for and he's got the power, but whatever.
Yeah.
It was pointless and needless.
I don't know. You can probably advertise that. Hey, in tonight's show, Def Leppard is going to be kicking the drum for their own intro.
Exactly. That's bullcrap. I would not do it. They're not like some like kid, like they're
That's
legendary. Like you don't, that's like telling Dionne Warwick to sing her own
No,
intro.
no. Let's not bring Beyond it. Where was she?
I know.
She was
She
napping.
was sleeping.
I didn't even comment on that. The one guy, he's in jail, so we understand why he's not there.
Oh.
Why is Dionne Warwick not there? She didn't show up, and they didn't mention her.
They didn't mention her at all.
They-
But she
Mr.
came up
Trump
in a
did.
clip.
Mr. Trump did.
What did
Yeah,
he
they
say?
did.
He
That
said,
Nene had a problem.
Well, he was only saying that that's who she fought with, but he didn't say anything about her not being there or why.
She came up in a clip, but no one said anything.
Well,
Didn't she come
tried.
up?
Yeah, she came up.
I mean, was she that bad that she just
She
wants
was
to
really
that we just
bad.
want
I
to
think-
forget her?
I don't think we do. I think she doesn't care.
But what
Yeah.
about them? Don't they care? Doesn't the show care? What about legal copy and
I
all
mean, I
that
would
other
assume
stuff?
if she doesn't care, they don't want to deal with it if they don't have to. I would be like,
Another
ooh.
diva
You
walking
say
on
it.
set.
I mean, they didn't comment
Yeah,
on it
just stay
because, I mean, it's kind of like one of those things in a movie. If there's a plot hole, you try to go right over it as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And so
Just
by her
avoid
not
it.
being there,
Bring attention to the
it's
problem.
one
Yeah.
person. They obviously had the rest of the cast, apart from Richard Hatch, who's in jail,
For
where he
tax
belongs.
evasion.
Apparently, where he belongs.
According to the little person,
Oh, I know. That
He
was
was
really
kinda
harsh.
creepy tonight.
That was harsh.
Dave.
It was
When
harsh.
Star Jones was speaking, he
Skunk
was kind of
Strike.
doing like,
Who, David Cassidy?
Ew, I didn't notice
Who,
that.
wait, who? David Cassidy or Gary Busey?
Oh my god.
David Cassidy.
That's gross.
Well, he's.
Oh, that's a very strange love triangle. I don't even want to think about it anymore.
Oh.
please.
Barf, barf,
Oh.
barf.
That's not okay. But we do know that Star Jones is a little bit interested in John Rich
Oh, I know,
for his
like,
guitar
what?
playing skills.
It's like what you said last week. It was just like
Can
so
we
shameless.
get Courtney's opinion on this? Courtney, what is your opinion on Star Jones' appreciation of John Rich?
I mean, I appreciate John Rich. I just don't. Ugh, Sergeant, let's not even talk
does
about
she
her.
appreciate
Well, that's
his
what exactly
guitar?
what
She
I'm
puts
gonna
a bad
do.
taste in my mouth.
Well, I want to talk about her because I want
don't.
to talk about what happened when Trump gave them a chance to talk. First, he said, "Hey, he said we're gonna get to you in a second, Gary, but let's talk." So he talked.
Ohio
talked to
State's
Gary.
a 10-year-old boy and his 12-year-old
Talk to
sister
Gary.
fly a kite with their dad.
So he talks to Gary, and man, Gary is all over the place.
The
Oh,
best
my
comment of
God.
the night, I wrote it down, came from Gary Busey.
Oh, yeah.
He said one of the worst, there's two horrible things you can do. One of the worst things being frying bacon while you're naked.
Oh, and the first part was pet a burning dog. Fried bacon.
What the hell is that?
Don't fry
Well
bacon
put.
naked.
Well put, Gary.
I
Well
think
put.
it's
Hey,
very smart.
I think Gary Busey is a genius because and he was going to get his point out. I don't care what anyone said. He got up there. He broke out that kite that apparently
Oh my God. What?
apparently
What?
Omaha Steaks stole his idea and they're giving away kites with their steaks.
Is that true?
I have
was
no
wondering if it was true.
freaking
I have no
idea.
But there was no signage on that kite. I
Exactly.
can't imagine that.
That
it's
was the
real.
world's tiniest.
I wasn't even
Yeah,
sure it was a kite.
And it was
It
the.
looked like it had legs and feet.
It was a
like, I don't know.
retarded
It was
kite.
yeah. It was the worst
It was a
kite.
kind of.
Yeah.
Uh,
It
that
could have
was
been a
my
piece of
paper
paper.
flying.
He
Yeah.
was trying
just
to make
can't-
us believe they took his idea so we would
I
think that
know.
his idea was crazy
Well,
because he still believes in his
Did he
idea.
become the spokesperson for sunglasses?
I hope
What is it?
the
Australian
sunscreen,
gold.
Australian gold.
Oh my God.
He did look a little tan.
Brought to you by Australian Gold.
That's probably from
Okay,
him
so then
being
here's
homeless.
my next part. Okay, I would like to talk to the only black woman on our panel.
Why it's gotta be about race?
Because this is a
Like Nene said,
because
it's not about race.
when you're talking about Star Jones
We're
made it
talking
about
a
race.
straight biatch.
I want to talk about Star Jones and Nene Leakes and how when the Donald said, okay, Nene, you tell me, and Star and Nene is just talking and Star is trying to talk and Nene would not let her. What the hell is that?
I
What is that?
There's supposed to be sort of like a code. Like you keep
Tell me
family
the code.
family business. And when you in front of the white folks, you act and behave properly. That's what Star Jones is trying to say. The only problem is that Star Jones is not a part of the family business because she cannot be a sister because she is a flaming biatch and doesn't know how to treat people with any kind of anything. She's freaking insane. And she's one of those people that is actually so much of a, I wanted to say bitch.
I know. Well, you just
but I
said it.
don't want to call her a bitch.
But you've already called her a bitch 3 times
I
so
called
far.
her a biatch. It's a little different.
What's the
Means a little
difference?
different. But
There's an O.
regardless,
There's an O in one.
she's one of those people
Oh,
that
yeah.
like
Or an
wants
A.
you to, speaks this like, oh, I would just like when she made the comment before, like, oh, I didn't want to be, I wouldn't stoop to that level, and I'd want to represent black women.
If you want to see the kite, by
Except
the way,
you
there it is.
Oh, it's so good.
Wait,
Let
it
him
comes
shake
in like
it
a
out.
little.
Yeah, a little. What
And
is
it's got
What
legs. Like,
is
I don't
that?
understand.
That's
Is it supposed to be a piece of
That's
meat?
the
Like,
tail.
why is it
That's the
blue?
tail.
to prove to you it's attached to something.
He's
Donald Trump is
confused.
like, I'm gonna call security really soon.
He's confused.
So
But
anyway, you were
anyway, Star, she does not behave as a part of the sisterhood that she's claiming that she's trying to uphold and represent in a positive light. So for her to make a comment about it to anybody else, like I would punch her in the face. Like I want to hit
you
her
would
in the face.
For
you would
Star to make a
punch her
comment
And
and
I
you would
have
physically harm her.
It, like sitting on this, like when the whole like thing where Nene like rolled up on her and everybody's like, oh, she's trying to choke her. That's scary. Like somebody needs to choke her. I'm sorry. Somebody
Can
should
I
just
say
shake
some-
her just one good time and be like, look, this is.
no,
You should
what
meet her.
what is up with all this black on black crime?
It's because it's ridiculous. Like she was obviously very unnecessary, and as she showed us last week, she can behave and get along with people just fine and treat them respectably.
Only if
but
she
the
thinks
dude-
she
they're
wants the
hot.
guitar.
with the men.
Only if she
with
wants to
the men.
get it
Oh, I know.
in.
That was
But that's the
such
point.
bullshit.
Like, why really? But yet you're feeding this crap that you're this woman of dignity
Yeah.
and of all of this
Education.
intelligence and education, and you are so refined and all of this. It's bullshit,
This
and
is
it was
intense.
so
And
obnoxious.
she like represents women.
You
that
represent
are,
women,
Hostess.
yet you
Yeah.
you call a girl, this woman. It is not a coincidence that almost every woman on that team had a problem with her.
Yeah.
And believe me, I understand females hating on each other and not doing right by each other, and that's something that happens and it sucks. But I don't see that as the case in this situation. And you can see she's shady and she acts shady, and
Yeah, she is.
The beautiful thing is, when you ask Latoya, like Latoya, she called you Casper. Nene called you Casper. She says, but you know what? I forgave her for that. Okay? But she's got a good heart. And Star is a bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how you know. Latoya is like the best example
She's
of
a good
that.
judge.
She came
Yeah.
up to
She's a
it and
good
she's like,
judge.
you know what? Because Nene's like the cousin that's running off at the mouth that doesn't have the proper filter. She got upset because of whatever was going on and she called her Casper. It was not okay, but that wasn't coming from anywhere for real other than her being running off at the mouth and immature. Star's crap was a little bit more deep-seated and a little bit more unfortunate, and that's where she is an unfortunate human being that most of them don't want to be around.
Just like deep down inside.
Her core does not seem good.
Yeah, like Nene
what
on the
Latoya
outside
said.
might be like angry or something.
But
you know,
she's got a good heart somewhere in there. Right?
Yeah.
And Star is crappy on the outside and sour in the inside.
yeah.
That
And
is
she
a-
just stood there
that is
with
a
her
horrible
skunk
I
shape
know.
nose
Yeah.
and-
Well, I didn't even notice that, but way to
that
notice that.
you didn't blend your makeup, Star. I saw your stripe where you're trying to make your nose look more narrow. Your stripe was running right down here, and you didn't blend it out, so it was not rolling fine. But then when she responded and
rough.
said that, who I don't know what he was talking to Lisa Rinna, I think. And she was just like, well, you have to bring your A game. Is your A game to be a bitch and ostracize every woman on your team? Why is that your A game when you advertise yourself to be this woman of strength and this woman of, like that divide and conquer is not what you needed to be doing in the show.
Her only strategy of winning is to make everybody else fail.
That's right. That was my comment last time. To win by attrition is so weak, and I can't support it and I can't respect it.
It's embarrassing.
But I don't want to talk about it too much. I just wanted to get
Sweet.
your take.
Let's not talk
I
about
want to talk
her.
about Marley.
Let's drop her off a cliff.
So John Rich John Rich said that I am going to take and bring out all the stops. All the stops. I'm not going to and then somehow, even though it wasn't a fundraiser, he brought in another $275,000. It wasn't asked. It wasn't a part of it. He brought it in anyway. And you want to know what dripped me out? Was Marley's response to it. She actually was pissed.
Yeah, she was. That was the first time I've seen her
I've
get like
never
really
seen her
pissed.
Pissed.
She had a lot to say about it.
Yeah. I could have done it too.
Yeah, I've never seen her hands so fast.
That's right. She was,
Great.
and I don't know if that's paramount to yelling, but she had it she was putting it out. And all I can say is, you know what?
Because you didn't think of it, dog.
You didn't think of it.
You mad because you didn't think
Wait,
of it.
okay, I don't know how it happened, but all I saw was like a person walking into a room with the check and giving it to John.
Because John actually put it out there. He said, if there's anyone else who wants to bring in more money, here's the perfect time to do it. And he didn't stop pulling in for funds. He kept pulling in. And even though, when we talk, we should go into that in a second. Even though, with his part in the job that he did for his task, he brought in that extra cash, and Trump was extremely impressed.
I think it was impressive.
Because it was impressive.
It was smart as
and
hell.
Marley was so mad.
She was so angry. Okay, now angry might not be it. Maybe she was, passionate about the fact that she still did enough, and that wasn't part of the task, and she followed the task. But the guys actually always took the risk.
That's right.
Always want that extra piece.
That's right.
And
And
you
I
did it
feel like,
again.
you know what? If Meatloaf was project manager, he should have done exactly that. Just side money,
Meatloaf is
side
crazy.
task money earnings.
Yeah,
Meatloaf is
kind of his
crazy.
own crazy.
Yeah.
Now I would like to comment a bit
Definitely.
on John's task with his show with Def Leppard. So he made a big problem for himself by introducing them and them not actually being there. It was pretty ugly. He went backstage. There's no one. He's like, and he's asking questions like, "What went wrong?
How
I don't
does he
understand.
not know?
How
I
does
know,
he
he
not
should
know?
know.
Does he not know? If you're announcing them, you're supposed to
Check to
it's
make sure they're
time.
ready.
Now I go. They should be
And
in the
he's-
wings.
And he's in the
what?
business.
Yeah. that
This
was-
is what he does on a regular basis.
Like-
I think it was a bigger mishap than he was able to cover up very well, but I think it was
Yeah.
bigger than it should have been. I think Trump should have drowned him on it.
I know.
I think everyone should have slammed him, mostly because out of everyone who should have known that, it should have been him.
Lil Jon wouldn't do that.
Yeah, he screwed that up pretty bad. But he puts his A game out and he goes out and it really impresses Star, because she was very impressed with him
Oh,
more
of
than.
course.
Why are
it
we
impresses
talking
Star.
about Star?
She
Star
loves
fell
him.
off the cliff
And then she kicked
and got
her.
kicked.
Well, of course
She's not a
Star
part of
loves
the
it.
It just blew me away that she said she was so impressed with him. How could
Oh,
she be?
I know.
It wasn't
such a-
that impressive.
You know what she is?
Why was that?
Why
Like
was it
he made a
impressive?
mistake
He made a mistake and he had to cover his ass for
because
it.
she's awful. That's
Yo,
why.
you can't write that word.
That's what
I
Star
can read that
is.
from here.
Whoa.
Can we
That's
even
why
say
I
that?
didn't say it.
Can we even say that? That's worse than biatch.
Yeah, look us up
That
on
is-
Twitter.
I didn't say it. but it never doesn't change.
All right,
the
for all
fact
of you people out there who used to be, who
that is
understands,
true.
this is Tango Whiskey
Really?
Alpha
Why are you
Tango.
spelling it out? That's so ridiculous.
It's a horrible word, but that's what she won up star on that one.
Yeah, because
Sorry.
you're saying that about Star, right?
Yeah. Ugh.
That's a horrible
John
word.
is so impressive.
Can't you get kicked
Oh,
out
I
of the
know.
Females Guild for using that word?
Kick me out, darn it.
If
I don't
Star
need
is
no
still
guild
in
to
the
still be a
guild,
female.
Oh,
if
she's
Star
already
is
out.
still in the guild,
I get it. You can use it on someone who actually isn't in the guild, and she's
Yeah.
already out. So okay, so
Yeah.
fair enough.
We don't ban it. Like, we don't, down talk women just because we're evil.
Yeah,
You only down talk evil women.
I like
Not
women.
even. Some women that can be uplifted or show some sign of, like, having a soul.
Yeah,
You
know?
think she's hopeless,
I think that she is
she doesn't have a soul.
a
Despicable?
cruel human being.
cruel, and despicable?
And I've never had a great taste for her for a long time. I watched her on The View. Hey, I'm
Oh
the
yeah,
little,
me too.
the little black girl that's like, oh yay, there's a black host on the show, so that's exciting, like whatever. And she just slowly showed us
Yeah, I watched her on The View too, and she downhill.
hot garbage.
Yeah, downhill.
I love to hear the ladies talk about the ladies.
It's
Yeah.
sad.
Not,
Yeah.
I love Marley,
Marley was great.
and
So tell me
even
what you love
Nene
about
is
Marley.
hilarious.
Tell me what you love about Marley. Tell me,
has a
tell me,
soul.
do you believe Marley should have won?
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
Okay, you believe she should have. You believe she shouldn't have.
You mean up against John Rich or like
Yes,
as the
up
best woman?
against John
No,
Rich. And
not
you,
for a second.
You think she should
Yeah.
have? Okay, why?
I just think, well, first of all, when she was talking about her charity, I started to cry. It was just, I don't know, it was just super powerful. And
She is a powerful speaker. She
Yeah.
is powerful. And her ability, how she moves and how she communicates
Yeah.
without words is honed to.
I know.
It's perfect. So anytime she's expressing something, you feel it because she has learned how to help you feel it besides just hearing. So it's fantastic.
yeah, exactly.
Right. So
That
she's very
is a
good at
skill.
that. That is a skill. So I agree that's a skill. Whether or not she should have won, I don't know. But so that's why. That's why.
And she's diplomatic, and
Mm-hmm.
she's a smart. I think she's a smart businesswoman too. And John Rich, okay, you know how Lil Jon, how they all said that he was lazy because he relied on his skills as a performer.
Yes.
That's exactly what John Rich did. Exactly. It's like he was like, "Uh-oh, can't do anything." What if it was like Meatloaf or something? "Oh, can't do anything. I'm
Well,
gonna
then
go
you-
and make up a song."
Well, if it, you go out there and do something. I kind of just say that. If you're
Yeah.
not a singer, then you go do. If you do a song
but
and dance, or
that
you,
was
you
the
do some
same
comedy.
trick he pulled every time.
Well, he's not. He did more things than just sing. He really did lead. He really did. Like I spoke in the last episode, he stepped up. He was on top of his team when they were like not moving fast enough. He's like, what the time is? Where is this? What are you doing? He was on top of them. He was a good leader. He did a good job. He did rely on his skill set, but there's nothing wrong with that. You
Well,
have to know
remember
your strengths.
how they were in the meeting and they were like, he was like, "Oh, I use my songs to help everything." Remember, it was like a few weeks ago. Brett Michaels and
That's right. They
whatever.
grilled him on that. That's true. But he also came back with, "No, I have these other strengths." But look at Marley. One thing that her team complained about a lot was that they did not have direction. They were not being told what to do. They
this past
commented
time.
on it every time. I think somebody else would have gave us more direction. I think someone else would have had assigned us more tasks. What am I doing? I don't know. That's the problem, right? So in the predictions last time, when Maria was here, my prediction was based on statistics. The team that's the least organized usually loses. That's why I decided that more than likely John Rich would win, not knowing what the mishaps would be later on, but that's a big deal. She was not as strong of a leader. Why? I don't know. But if your team isn't supporting you and have a problem with your leadership, that's a bad sign.
I just like her better.
Ridiculous.
I like her better, so because John kind of annoys me, but
Why does he annoy you? What did he do that's annoying?
he's just not.
Yeah,
my
there's
thing.
something,
There's just something
yeah.
annoying about him,
Yeah.
but that's irrelevant to
Now,
what.
but
the
here's the deal.
decision was.
This is my opinion. My opinion is that if it was solely judged on just that event, just that task, John Rich should have lost.
I agree.
I think Marley won that task. But I don't believe they were judging the winner of the show based on just that task. The task was part of it. Even though the $275,000 out of nowhere is a big deal, the places where he made mistakes were bigger and more
really
shameful
bad.
because of who he is.
Yeah, totally not an excuse anywhere for that.
But I will say I do agree with this. I believe that for the entire show, he was stronger. I believe he did more. And the fact that how can you debate that? I was the leader more than anyone else.
Yeah, that's true.
That's huge.
And I'm here still. That means he went up to be chopped off and didn't get chopped off. He took the reins and he held it every time. And I brought in just as much money as this person.
Side note, can I ask a question?
No,
So,
of course you can.
Marley's always getting like touted because she won this challenge where she single-handedly raised $1 million. Wasn't that the challenge where Latoya Jackson made all that money off of like Michael Jackson memorabilia?
Yeah, I think so. The art thing.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're
I'm
talking
pretty.
so.
I'm pretty sure it was. That's why. Okay, so I was not a fan that Marley should have been in the finals, obviously.
Yes.
But that being her like claim to fame as to why she's so amazing is that she was the leader in that challenge. But that challenge was so amazing because I'm fairly certain that was the Michael Jackson
So
memorabilia.
look at her.
So she's just likable, and that's why she went as far as she did. I don't think she did anything exceptional ever throughout the process of
But
their
okay, so
challenges.
I don't disagree with you. The reason why I said she was the strongest player was mostly because of the other people.
That were-
They could not get their stuff together.
Yeah, they
So
couldn't
then
get it
that means it drops down from them. I could not believe that Star Jones could not be better than she was, but apparently there's a reason why, because she sucks. And I really
It's
believe,
because she's a.
and I couldn't believe that Nene Leakes could not just hold it together to focus so that she could be stronger, but she quit.
That's because she's the crazy cousin that doesn't have that kind of training.
So if you take out those two, who do you have left?
Well, see, if they had knocked Star out sooner, before there was such fragmentation among them, it wouldn't have. I think it would have been much different.
So Maria said something about because Maria Canellis was on the show, and she was a celebrity apprentice. She said what was missing from this season with the ladies was there was no humor, there was no fun. They would have fun. Those women were not having fun.
No.
Those women were stressed out the
hated
entire
life.
time, and I can't blame them. I wouldn't want to be around any of that. Are you kidding me? As a guy, we would run for holy hell first.
I would not. I would be totally pissed.
And as we learned, they only sleep like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah,
a
they
day.
don't sleep
Yeah.
much,
A week.
so they're already on edge to begin with. And then
Yeah.
you're dealing with a super, and yeah, that sucks.
So you
Yeah.
honestly believe that not Nene, but Star was the single destructive force on that team?
I think that
outside of Dionne Warwick.
Dion is sort of like, we won't even talk about that. I think that Star because
you should, because some of the
Dionne,
stuff she
I
said
think we
was
just-
really, really
but
bad.
I feel like
Yeah,
everybody
she
for
said
the
some
most part,
She said
crazy.
some horrible-ish. It was
especially the
not
whole like
okay.
they'll feel bad for you when she's
Yeah,
talking about the
they will
death.
pity her. Oh, that's
I
not
know.
okay.
But see, the reason I think it was an issue is Dionne is like grandma who's gonna say anything. Nobody really cares all that much. It's just annoying. Star was an intelligent person, a very skilled person at certain things, and she had an ability, had she had a soul, to do more for bringing the team together and making the team work better.
Hey, I agree.
And
Her
that's why,
role
but
sucks.
that's why
The
she
role
was
she
so
took
destructive.
sucked.
That's why she was so detrimental to the team, because she had such potential for
Yeah, that's
control and
true.
power, but in a positive way. Instead, she chose to use it negatively, and that's what tore everybody down. Nene, great, probably could have been way better than she was, but she doesn't have the refinement that Star's supposed to have. So she didn't have if Star had really cared like she claimed to about bringing this woman and showing this black woman in a positive black woman light, then she would have had Nene under her wing, and it would have been honest. Because that's one thing that Nene said in some interviews. She was saying, we were friends outside of this, or at least I thought we were. My son took your dog out for walks every day to make sure that it got its walks. We've had dinner. You've had dinner with my family. Like, we had a relationship that we don't see
Beforehand?
about. Exactly. So, and then to come into this and suddenly you acting brand new for TV, that's not what I signed up for. I thought we were cool. And you showed me something completely different. So I think there was more to their dynamic than we knew about. And I think that obviously Nene didn't have the skill set to work
deal with
it. But Star knows that because Star knows Nene.
Star knows how to
which is why
get her.
She's an even bigger word that I'm not gonna say.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's so annoying because it
gonna-
didn't have to be like that.
It's gonna be all right.
It did not have to be like
those
that.
personalities that are so destructive
Yes.
for unnecessary reasons because they have issues with themselves and whatnot, so they ruin
So
everybody else.
Do you think that they? And I to lead the witness, I don't believe you believe this, but do you think that their behavior diminished female representation in the leadership realm at all?
I mean,
Do you think they represent female leadership or what female leadership and female camaraderie should look like? Or do you think that everyone just sees that as ridiculousness and nobody cares?
well, I can hope that everyone sees that as ridiculousness, but if we were supposed to base what the female standard would be off of individuals, then we would totally be screwed. I guess Star claimed to be this woman that's all respectable and stuff, but I think that during the show it was pretty obvious that she wasn't.
Okay, that's very. I think that should be very hurtful for Star from a career perspective and
Yeah.
from a personality
That's
perspective
what I
because
have a
you
question
are
about.
you are the young lady representing other young ladies looking up at this person that's supposed to be someone that you could possibly aspire to be or at least respect.
Yeah.
And you have none of that for her based on just this single watch
Yeah.
of her interaction.
That's true.
And I think she should listen to that. I think she should pay attention and address it. I think she should have a press conference and say, yo, I was a real biatch and I need to apologize
she
for
should.
it. Because it's Courtney is upset.
Well, because I wonder, what was your point? You know what I'm saying? What was? Okay,
Are you
I get
disappointed?
that people. Not disappointed because I feel that I felt from a TV perspective. Obviously, I've never met her or know her in person, but I've never felt positive energy about her. And I'd like to believe that at her core that maybe there was something good and we just didn't get a good impression. And, TV isn't everything. You don't know these people. But she continues to show that the negativeness around her and that people say around her is legitimate for certain reasons. And I just want to understand, you go on this show, they obviously, they want to raise money for charity, but they all trying to do something for a career to get a next move or get another show or get something else, whatever. And I'm just trying to figure out what the hell was she trying to get? What was that trying to prove?
That's true.
What were you trying to get out of this? Other than we could have finally seen you as the superstar that you are supposed to be. This woman who came from a small town in North Carolina, got your degree and became assistant district attorney in New York City and has made all these achievements and you're so intelligent and you're so smart and you have so much to offer to the world, but you offered us that bullshit. So were you just yucking it up for TV? You decided okay, my role is bitch role, and I don't know where that's gonna take you or where we're supposed to go with you on that. Am I supposed to care anymore about you? Because I don't now, for real.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly kind of my point.
She makes it
she's
look
a straight-
bad. She makes everyone look
Okay,
bad.
that sucks. Okay, so that's the answer. Yes, she makes
Yeah.
everyone look bad that see her as anything to do with a female representative. Okay, well, I agree. I think she sucks. Okay, but I think Marley
We're
doesn't.
talking about Star again.
But because it keeps falling back on her because she's involved in different parts of the aspects of the show and she's involved in she's
Where
on different
things
teams.
fall apart.
Where things fall apart,
Where
there she
things
is.
fall apart. There she
There
is
she
smiling with
is.
her obnoxious
Oh, I'm better than you. I know something that
Nose,
you don't.
gross.
Well,
Okay,
on this time around, she was on John Rich's team, but she really loved John Rich, and John Rich was, I think, he was a little scared of that, which as well he should
Yeah.
should be. I'd be scared.
be. Well, he should be.
She said if you weren't married, I would date you or something. But he never said anything back to that.
Well, he didn't. He just said that it
Turned
was
around and kept moving.
Yeah.
That shows that he's a professional as well.
Yeah, I would be scared too.
I'm just giving it some thought. I'm letting it soak into my brain, and I'm terrified. I'm terrified. If I put myself in his place, and I'm like John Rich, and put yourself in John Rich's place. Mm-hmm. This crazy woman wants to be rubbing all up on you, and you're like, you got a wife and a
How would you feel about
How would
that,
you feel
Phil?
about that, Phil?
You're on Celebrity Apprentice, and Star wants to
She wants to
lick the side of
canoodle.
your face.
She wants to canoodle.
I
With her
look at my watch and be like, okay, how much time do we have? Okay, and is that gonna be good for the team? Is she gonna give me my all for the rest of the task?
You would take one for the team with Star?
I would take one for the team
Yeah,
with
you
Star and be
would.
like, all right, let me get the most out of her.
Oh.
I would calculate it out.
Dirty Phil. Ooh.
What's up? Just saying.
He said, "What's up?"
That's taking
Hey,
one for the team.
girl.
That's taking 2 or 3 for the team.
Right
It's
there.
very impressive. So, Star,
yeah.
if you're actually
Phil
looking for your,
Svitek, 424. What's our phone number?
All I'm saying is,
Oh
you know
my
what?
God.
And luckily, John Rich didn't have to, let's just say, bed Star Jones. But you know what? He made her work, and obviously it paid off as he is the Celebrity Apprentice.
I think it is well deserved.
I
I
agree.
think he really did win. I think out of the guy's side, it was between him and Lil Jon actually, and whether or not it was him or Lil Jon, I think, it was a matter of a choice. Lil Jon kind of took himself out of it.
Yeah.
Which is so annoying.
I know that is annoying.
Oh,
I didn't
I'm
want
sorry.
to do
I wasn't
that.
here last week, and y'all already talked about this. But for real,
Yeah.
Yes, for
and
real.
really, because he decided already that he
Yes,
basically
he
knew
decided.
that he
He
thought.
knew.
I think he knew that if it was a fundraising task, he was tapped out, and he didn't want to.
He knew. He took the easy road, or the
That's-
road that was least frustrating
was
for him.
tired.
He was, and
He just said he'd never do it again.
and then he said I'd do
Yeah.
it again, but he was right. He doesn't want to do it again. And I think that the thing that he wanted to prove, he proved that they're all rappers or black rappers with dreadlocks and gold fronts
Oh my
with
God,
diamonds.
you're a rapper? No way.
I am not.
That's a joke for all the video people.
I know.
I'm not a rapper.
Oh, that's right. You don't have your gold fronts.
I can't. Not anymore.
Yeah, you
No
gotta get that.
diamonds.
No, but anyway, so I think it could have been Lil Jon, maybe, but it'd been a choice. But it was John Rich instead, and I think he took it home. He did a good job, and he deserved to win. The only thing that kind of threw me for a loop, right, is because I've been seeing John Rich on those
OnStar?
OnStar commercials,
I haven't seen
and
that.
I didn't
seen
think
them
well they actually showed him during the show.
Oh,
Like
I
that's-
zoned out. It
and
was a really long show.
I just thought that
Yeah.
they wouldn't have him as the representative if he didn't win. So,
Yeah, that's true.
So I kind of thought that because I know this has been done for a while. The finale wasn't. I think that was
No,
live
that's
tonight.
live,
But the decision of who won actually been for a while, and that kind of led me to believe that he was the one that was going to win. So I don't know if I was cheating on that or not. But
Wait, so from the time that they did the task to the time of the finale, was there like
No, that was
a
weeks.
lot of time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
Because they
so
shot it in the
annoying.
fall.
yeah. It's been. I actually I know people who knew, and I just commanded them not to tell me who it was, and they tried multiple times. By the way, people are.
Did you
jerks.
get it?
No. They didn't tell me. But
was
they
tough.
knew
I had to
because they
not look at some
because
emails.
Yeah.
my friends are on the shows that host them, and they come in and they're on the show, and then they tell people that they're not supposed to, but they tell them anyway, and so they knew. But I'm glad I didn't actually know. It was a surprise to me, but I suspected based on the show, not based on any inside information. And I think that the Def Leppard performance, because we talked about the Globetrotters, it was kind of a slam dunk. I think the Def Leppard performance, I think the fact that they didn't meet them at the door and
Yeah.
weren't looking out for that. These are big problems. John really screwed that
I
stuff
know,
up,
I know.
right?
He messed up from the very beginning.
Yeah, he still won because as an overall, it wasn't a complete flop. And I think for whatever reason, because Donald knew he was going to pick him, he underplayed those flaws. And I didn't respect that too much because I know if it would have been in the middle of the season, Donald would have ripped him a new one for those
Yeah,
flaws.
that's true.
But he didn't. Kind of sucks for Marley.
Well,
Def
the
Leppard was
Trumpster isn't
Yeah.
making the best decisions, I don't think.
Well, when he said, I'm going to do something new, what was the something new he said?
He
Because
didn't
at the
say
end
you're
he says,
fired.
I know. What was
"Oh,
that?
he didn't say you're fired." Is that what it was?
I mean,
No.
that's my
Yeah, that's what I was
That's what it
guessing.
is.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, are
He
there going to
said
be two
you won.
winners?
That's what it is. I didn't even catch it. Courtney's right. He didn't say, "Marley, you're fired." He said,
John,
"John,
you won.
you're
Yeah,
the
she's
new
new
celebrity
celebrity.
apprentice."
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be, but I thought he was gonna say it's a tie.
It's
or
a
something
tie,
like
no.
that.
No, that would have been so whack.
I know.
would've
I
freaking
was
hated
gonna.
that.
I was gonna get really mad.
I can't
but-
stand when they take that cop out. No, that
Yeah.
sucks. But so there you go. You guys have would like to summarize your take on the whole season of Celebrity Apprentice one by one? Can you give us your outtake, Michelle?
I think Richard Hatch is crazy. I think that he talks a lot of shiznit for someone who doesn't say anything out loud to anybody. But okay, the season, Gary Busey's crazy. The women really just shot themselves in the foot, mostly Star. The men, the lack of communication did well for them because they're just guys and they're just hanging out. And then they do well and whatever, and someone leaves and whatever, and then Gary Busey is his own
Shows
deal.
His balls.
Okay. And
What are you
Sorry,
doing,
I
Courtney?
barfed.
Are you?
I barked
just-
all
That's
around.
not what
Because
that
she's
looks
got a
like.
problem with Gary Busey's boast. And I don't understand why that's an issue for her.
Oh God.
Because we weren't even talking
Oh
about
my
it. You
God.
only mentioned Gary Busey's, and in her brain she saw both.
That's
So
when
why
I
she
think
was
of
gonna-
when I think of this season now.
You're gonna think of Gary Busey's both.
Oh my God. Yes.
Why? I mean, they blurbed it out. Did you couldn't see through it? Did you see the
But, like,
uncensored version?
imagination.
Oh, what would that be like? You saw the uncensored version of Gary Busey's balls?
Imagination is so much worse than
You're
reality.
imagining Gary Busey's balls?
Oh my God, no! But you
But
know
yes,
what I mean.
But yeah, I know what you
No.
said.
Oh my God.
Courtney, do not do that.
Move on.
All right, I'm gonna wrap the season up for you
Let's
guys.
wrap it up. Let's wrap it up, Phil.
I thought it was way more entertaining in the beginning with all the people. As soon as it got to maybe the top 7 finalists, I was like, all right, I know who's going to be in the top 2. I probably know who's going to win. And it kind of got boring. Nene obviously kept it interesting, but I liked more of the people. I like Gary Busey drama. I like Nene drama. I like
Because
Dionne
that's good
Warwick.
TV.
It is.
Maybe not a good competition, but it's good TV.
Yeah.
That's good TV, except for Gary Busey. I hate him.
Okay, Courtney, you
You know
yours,
what?
and then
They
I'll
should
follow up.
they should amend the Celebrity Apprentice so like the people who get fired, they come in to try and sabotage. And whatever
That's what
way.
they were already doing.
Yeah.
In whatever way.
Nothing would change.
Nothing would just be the same thing. It's just a show going on. What do you think? What is yours?
I mean, I thought it was a pretty decent season. I totally forgot David Cassidy was on it. And
he
he's
got
a very
fired from
small
the first
person.
one.
Yeah, I totally forgot about
you
him.
always forget the first one.
You always do. Nene was good TV, of course, which
About
is
Latoya?
what she was there for. I'm in love with Latoya Jackson and her sparkly pants and her sparkly nails and her sparkly belt and her sparkly shirt.
Everything.
Everything had sequins
And
and,
her-
sparkles. And she showed that she had some real home training because she is the most polite, sweet, and intelligent person, even though...
And she was the one who pulled out the first time comeback on the show.
Exactly. And so I'm glad that I was rooting for her from jump. And I'm glad she got to come back and sparkle in her sparkly outfit. Because, that was like disco balls of different shades. Like it was lighter and then it was darker. But
Lots of
anyway, I won't
sparkles.
side note, Nene Spanx are your friend.
Mm.
And that blue dress was not.
Yeah, no.
It was
Spanx
not.
and vest.
It was not. I mean, she's
Oh, I
got
know.
double boobs, belly. It's too much.
I know, Spanx.
One size up and some Spanx, and you would be good to go.
Do you guys know what Spanx are?
We don't know.
Oh, you don't need to know, but we need to know what a CB radio is, right? Okay. Anyway.
Did you compare some female apparel to a CB radio?
Spanx are like almost
General
like a
knowledge.
I said we
cultural
don't need to
thing
know.
right
That just
now.
means we
Yeah.
don't need to know right now. You can tell me later, though. I'll
Everybody
be
Public
happy.
knowledge.
I'll search it on the internet. Yo, what the hell?
They have man
I don't know.
Spanx. They're trying to make man Spanx.
Really?
They have a man t-shirt.
T-
Have you seen that thing where it's like a t-shirt,
I.
like a tank underneath, like a beater, but it's like Spanx.
This is good for you.
It's
to
fun.
right.
You
listen
should know.
to.
Anyway, in conclusion, it was a good season, and Gary Busey is ridiculous, and I think that the person that deserved to win won.
Okay, so now my conclusion. My conclusion is bump the rest. They did phenomenal things for these charities. They
Yes, they
brought
did.
in so much money. It has inspired me. I have been giving to more charities than I have my entire. Well, I actually have more money to give to them right now, but I've been giving. I've been giving more. I just made a donation today. Actually, a friend asked me to support.
The Popcorn
No,
Association.
it was a race. not that donation. That was a donation to my graduating daughter. But no, I think that they spend a lot of time focusing on the charities, which I think that should be the focus as much as it is about this ridiculous drama between certain individuals. So I applaud them for that. I applaud the Trumpster for that big time. I think that he did a great job, and he should be commended. I don't think he should be president for it, but I think...
Well, he's not running.
Okay, well...
Thank God.
I think that if he did, that shouldn't help him win anyway. But as far as the players, I kind of agree with Phil. It got boring because it had to, but mostly it got boring because some of the interesting people deleted themselves out of the show.
And it's 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't know what the 2 hours thing is about, but I don't appreciate certain people
FaceTime for celebrities,
actually taking themselves
especially early rounds.
out of the show. That doesn't make sense. If you're in there for your charities, then don't delete yourself. It's a competition.
That's true.
Exactly.
And multiple people did this over and over and over again. It was very upsetting to me because I think they were strong players, especially
Mark McGrath.
Mark.
No.
That was actually
Such
probably the
an
worst
idiot.
one.
That was stupid.
That was the worst one.
Such an idiot.
That's when Gary should have left. Okay.
Real quick, where was Jose Canseco?
Oh, his dad
Yeah,
got.
we forgot about that. What happened to him?
His dad got cancer.
Oh, but he wasn't even on the reunion.
I know.
Well,
He was
if
flying
his-
a kite.
If his dad got cancer, I mean, that's what he's doing.
That's-
Yeah, that's probably what he's still doing.
And
The
that's all
Omaha,
he'll be focusing
the
on.
Omaha,
The Omaha Cup.
before we go, the Omaha and the kids, they ring the
Cut
steak.
it out.
No,
And out of nowhere-
It's a 10-year-old and
And-
a 12-year-old.
Wait, you guys.
And
And they bring the the father.
The
That's
father.
the
father.
grandfather.
Wait,
That's the father.
wait. Okay, you just shouldn't pet a burning dog, and
or
don't.
fry bacon.
Don't
All
fry
right.
bacon
Yeah.
naked.
I feel like we need
Don't
to go
do
to
that.
commercial now that we
All
got
right.
it.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig! The wig will come out. That wig
When
will
the
come out.
TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on. AfterBuzz TV News.
So Marley Matlin says she felt lucky to be deaf on the U.S. reality TV show because of the catfights and verbal brawls, quote, got to be too much. Matlin admits the drama among fellow competitors Star Jones, Nene Leakes, Dionne Warwick actually made Matlin appreciate her hearing disability. She tells the New York Post, "It was a good thing I was deaf, the tones, the voices, the fighting. Sometimes I would just look away. I wouldn't even want to look at Jack, her interpreter. It just got to be too much sometimes."
Wow.
Well,
That's
I'm not mad at you
That
for
says it all.
That does.
That says it all.
And
It is.
deaf, and it's too much. That's ridiculous.
That's harsh.
Well, when asked if he would ever think about running for president, apprentice John Rich claims, "I wouldn't rule it out at some point in my life, but I wouldn't think at any time soon." That is such an immensely powerful and responsible position. I would have to educate myself on every level, but I could run. Any American can run for president, and I do think people should discuss politics and debate.
Okay,
All
so
right.
was that like a technically anyone could be president?
No,
That was a great answer, actually. That's
Yeah.
what that was. I couldn't have answered that any better. I couldn't think anyone else would. It's ridiculous. It's a question that you're presented with, and you have to play it safe and be. That's clear. That's why he won right there.
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
I wonder
people,
who asked him that.
There's democracy, right? But democracy isn't just democracy. There's direct democracy, there's representational democracy. You put on a damn ballot that Phil Svitek could never host a damn show again, and that could be law. But you know what? The point is we elect people
We should do that.
based on that, okay, these people are smarter,
That's harsh.
and therefore,
That's a
okay,
good idea.
I may not know, but this person knows, and I'm picking him to represent me. And so what he's saying is he wants direct democracy and all that bullshit. I don't know. Now that I've heard this after the Donald Trump incident of like him wanting to be a
annoyed.
president, I don't know. I'm just over this whole damn presidency and the way politics are going.
I don't even know.
I'm frustrated.
I'm over it.
I'm frustrated.
And
I have a problem with politics, but we'll save that for the next show.
Well, we are going to be doing a politics show, but
And I'm going to say,
but I just hate the fact of like this whole kind of shift towards direct democracy. It doesn't work anymore.
Because there are stupid people in this country that do not need to be running anything.
Yeah, that's true.
like I said, I have an issue with politics.
Well, speaking of stupid people, Donald Trump announced this week that he would not seek the presidency, saying he didn't doubt he could win in the primary and ultimately the general election, but that he's a businessman first and wanted to stick with his NBC.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you did.
I'm so sure.
He totally could have totally won.
He could have.
He just didn't.
He could have. He could have made it more of an amusing race.
The thing is, that's what I thought about Schwarzenegger, and then I thought it was like a joke, and then he actually won. Because I was like, whoa, that's so funny. That would be so funny if like the Terminator was the governor, and then it happened.
Well, here's the thing. I hope that is not even possible for the president of the United States. I think I'd have to leave the country.
It's America, boo. Anything's possible.
That scared me a little bit.
Oh yeah, there's one more there.
Ivanka.
There is. Actually, I have a hot off the press one.
Sweet.
Is it about Marlies Event?
No, it's actually about John Rich and Little John.
Oh.
The two have actually been friends for 6 years, and when they both joined the show, they actually didn't let anybody know about this. And they planned to plot out to get into the top 3.
Well, good for them.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's strategy, baby. You can't hate on that. Good job, because I didn't know nothing about Star Jones and Nene Leakes,
Yeah,
but Nene knew,
and Star
Nene was
should
pissed
have
off.
done that.
Wow.
Nene Star should have done that.
Well, on a positive note, Ivanka Trump has confirmed that her and her husband, Jared Kushner's first child will be a little girl.
Oh, how sweet.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, we heard that tonight.
She's pretty.
She is
that
pretty. I'm so
any-
glad. I was thinking like she doesn't look like the Donald. So
Ivanka? Oh,
yeah.
she's like gorgeous. I know.
She looks like her mother.
And she's very elegant. I like her.
Yeah, thank God she didn't
The
turn
Don
out
would
like.
hate that I said that, but
Because her brothers look like Donald.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, yeah, their hair
The
and
Donald
like
put
braces.
on a cowboy
like,
hat.
What?
Are you kidding me? The Donald's cool.
There's nothing
No.
attractive, sexy.
No.
And Donald's rich, and I was.
That's
Even money didn't make him hot.
No amount of money could.
That's good to know, honey, that Donald's not my competition. I appreciate that.
I think Donald Trump is a sexy man for his
I mean, he
age.
doesn't
Like,
even have
come
any
on
eyes. I was looking at this trying to figure out what color are his eyes, because he's so sunburned or windburned or whatever is going on with his face, and his eyes, like right around the eyelids, are so white, like you can't see his
Real
eyeballs.
quick, which can do you guys like the best? Do you like hers?
Oh, I like the guys.
Yeah, I like the
can
guys
is better.
too.
It is better.
Yeah.
It does pop.
It pops so much
better.
more.
Yeah.
And I love how Latoya was like, oh, I don't want to.
I know.
But it does pop.
I also love Latoya. I thought she was great. I thought she was
Yeah.
poised. I thought she was fantastic. And I thought she was very underrated.
I would love to meet you in your sparkle.
All right, that's your AfterBuzz TV Celebrity Apprentice news and gossip for the week of May 22nd, 2011.
And for the season.
May 22nd. No more Celebrity Apprentice. Prediction.
What do you guys want to predict?
Who's going to be on the next Celebrity Apprentice?
Yeah, how cool would it be if we got one of us?
I think we should
That'd
rally
be
for that
cool.
and make it happen.
Well,
Yeah.
one of us isn't me. I just voted myself out.
No, now you have to.
No, that's
Now
how
that
it
You
you're-
can
works.
vote yourself out.
You
I
can't
just
vote
did.
yourself out. What about
My life
Courtney?
is busy enough.
I think that I am not composed enough.
I think we should put Courtney on there
No.
with Star Jones.
Yeah.
Courtney and Star.
Wow,
Courtney
that would
and
be
Star.
The one thing that
Amazing.
turns me off completely is that I don't function well without sleep. So, or not with negative voltage, I should say. Like, obviously, I
No,
can
both
keep
are
it
true.
moving.
No, both are true.
But
Both are
if
true.
you come in and I
I'm
don't
the
have,
same. I'm the same
yeah,
way.
If I haven't slept, my tolerance is
That's true.
that much.
I'm the same way.
I will get my job done, but that wouldn't go down.
But according to you, you would punch Nene Leakes. I mean,
wouldn't-
not Nene
I
Leakes. You
wouldn't
punch
punch
Star
her,
Jones in the mouth.
But she would definitely know that I wasn't interested in having it. But I can speak better than Nene can.
Because you have a
And
filter?
I don't necessarily have a great filter, but I have a better filter than Nene does.
Okay, good enough.
And Star and I can have a nice
I
conversation.
predict that the next season is going to be fantastic. I think they'll find, because of of this season, I think they'll find some really nice people, interesting people rather, to be on the next season. I think it'll be very interesting.
I think Tito should be on it.
We should get Obama.
I think it should be another Jackson.
I think it needs to be another Jackson.
Yeah, it's totally gonna be another Jackson.
It has to be. I think we should just throw them all up there.
Yeah, that would be the entire
the
cast.
Jacksons team,
the
Jacksons
5 versus
against
the Osmonds or something.
Like that. That's
totally.
hot. And there's a whole lot of them, so they could
exactly. There's so many.
Feud? What would it be like? Family Feud?
Family Feud,
Apprentice Feud. That's
I
awesome.
think that's brilliant.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That is brilliant.
So
we should
good.
definitely do that. And then at the end, switch them up so that they're hating on each other.
Yeah.
And then throw Star Jones in just for fun.
We threw Star
Jones. Oh, throw Star Jones and Gary Busey in.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so my quote of the evening is Tango Whiskey Alpha Tango from Courtney.
No, don't
That's
fry
horrible.
bacon naked.
Yeah, mine is don't pet a burning dog.
Yeah. What was another
Phil
game?
got one.
I got
Phil
balls.
got one.
Gary Busey's boss. Gary Busey's boss.
Whoa. Courtney, every
Shining
time you
in
make
the
a
light.
face, it just makes me feel like, I don't know, you're doing something to you. Yeah, just think of them. Never mind.
You're so inappropriate, Phil.
Gary Busey's boss.
All right.
Talking about balls.
Well, it's been a great season, guys.
It was fun.
It's been
It
fun.
has been.
I
Yo,
will
here's
miss
looking
our
at you
Sundays.
guys.
Oh, I just be doing that.
Oh, that's okay.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.